With the recent events in US, you might be wondering and even fear that the market might not be good, might not be well. Will US dollar be replaced? Will there be a civil war, right? And looking at the event myself, I think there's a possibility of it happening. And the next question you might have is when it will happen. My take will be as early as Independence Day this year, because that's when people living in that country start to get a bit more emotional, right? And things could just happen, right? But I'm not promoting fear and whatsoever. And I believe that if you are not living in US and if you do not have friends living there, no families living there, the main reason of you asking it is because you are thinking if your asset is safe, if how you should be going forward from here. Are you still going to keep US dollar, right? That's the right question. Just before I start, maybe I just do a quick introduction, like who's this guy over here. Hi, my name is Rayn. So I have done some of the crazy predictions. In 2015, I shared pound is going to crash, and that is before anyone, even myself, know about the idea of Brexit referendum, right? It was shared on 13th of December, but the analysis was done in September. And back then I was like, should I be saying this, right? What if it didn't happen? Will I be like way off and whatnot? But what really brings me to share that information is because I see that if you're a business owner out there, you might want to hedge some of the risk, right? If it doesn't happen, good for you. If it does, you're safe. And that gave me the motivation to do that sharing, and unfortunately it happens on 2016 October. It hit 1.1, the rate I'm talking about. And of course we all know that the referendum happens in June. And 2021, when US dollar was pretty low at that time, October period, the first week of October, I shared that US dollar is going to skyrocket, and that's when I encourage many people, even including myself, to shift your day-to-day money to US dollar. And when the bills come, you need to convert back to local currency, then do that adjustment, right? And last year, 2024, I shared with close community and even shared in some of the posts that I'm going to dump the US dollar, right? As a trader, I couldn't 100% dump it because it's still the international currency, but what is needed is convert back to Sing dollar, right? So that's that. And that's even before we know the election results. We have made that decision. So it's nothing to do with Trump on that decision I have. So back to this, right? What to invest, right? The real question is how to protect your wealth and assets, because that's what most people want to achieve when they are talking about investment, right? They want to hedge against inflation. Seldom you'll hear people saying that I want to invest because I want to get rich. I do not want to work again. Seldom, right? Most of the time, they want to hedge against inflation. They know that the dollar strength is getting weaker and weaker. I'm not just talking about US dollar. In fact, most currency are getting weaker and weaker, right? So let me digress a bit. Let me be a bit bold as well. Compare the grocery price you have in January and compare with April just this year, right? I have seen in 2 countries and talk to some people living in other countries. So I take 3 country references and say that, well, things are getting a lot more expensive even before the official tariffs hit. And this is where people get FOMO, supplier and whatsoever. They are afraid that moving forward, there'll be some challenges, right? There'll be additional tariffs. So they make some adjustment in advance. I've not went very deep in doing research in that because to me it's rather obvious and it's not my main focus, right? The main focus is that things are getting more expensive. Of course, they will tell you that, food shortages, this and that, yada, yada. I don't quite buy it, right? But that is a topic for another day. Let's focus on this. So some of the things that how you could protect your wealth, you could be looking into physical silver, physical gold. If you're a bit adventurous, you can look into storing Bitcoin and Ethereum in cold wallet, not for trading purposes. That works if you are into crypto, right? And of course, manage your distribution well, right? And this is what you're going to diversify your portfolio in. But back in 2020, I did share with many people during the pandemic that the real investment is to invest in your own equipment. The things that you do, right? How to do it better. For instance, usually I'll hold back my purchase decisions because I'm quite impulse purchaser, no longer, right? A buyer, a shopper, right? Impulse, I will just put it and to see if that's something that I really need before I make that investment, right? So for example, this mic, I got it during the pandemic period and together with Rodecaster, pretty cool, right? So that will help you in your delivery of helping others and produce your work, whichever it is. The second thing that is very good for investment is to get a mentor to coach you or to teach you on the skill set you want to improve or learn something new. Because we all know and we have seen that the money has been depreciating. And moving forward, the fear is if things are getting really bad, will US dollar be replaced? Will we have a banking system issue? My take is yes, right? So the best bet that you can have is to take that money and invest and hire someone to teach you a skill set or to fulfill some of the dreams that you always wanted, even if it's a hobby. Make full use of it right now. Make the full payment, right? Let them bear the risk because investing in yourself is the best thing that it could happen. Once you learn the skill set, you did very well with the new acquired skill, the mentor cannot come back and charge you extra because you make an additional $1 million, right? I'm just giving you an extreme example, but I'm sure it happens, right? Because once you have the skill that people want, you will always live in a life of abundance. I'm not talking about getting really, really filthy rich and you could buy a jet, private jet and stuff like that. In some cases it does for some people, but you are never in lack because you have the skill sets that people want. And think about it, if you have the skill set at the same time, you are doing the things that you love or you manage to pursue your passion, you live your life with happiness. Isn't that great? Isn't that most of us, in fact, every one of us are going after indirectly in most cases. However, think about this. If your skill set are able to help someone else in their work, solving their problem, not only money won't be an issue to you, you live a life of fulfillment because you are helping others solving their problems, right? And they pay for your service, right? In the new age, people call it energy exchange. We could barter trade services, right? To do it as an exchange, who say currency has to be physical money, right? Don't forget, in the first place, money is being created as a storage. So there isn't a need for much fear on that. And of course, if you are very, very loaded, I understand your concern. You want to go back to the traditional saving. Physical silver, physical gold seems like a decision that most people take in the past. Moving forward, people might want to bet on Bitcoin and Ethereum because they are angry with governments. They believe the power should be with the people. Then you have that trust and have leap of faith of that. Why not, right? But don't put everything there because you still need to purchase for your bread and butter, right? Most importantly is to upskill yourself because once you have the skill set that everyone wants, you will never be in lack and you're able to help others. You see, in trading, many of times people would imagine that it would take very, very long to understand and able to apply it. And every day you will spend long hours, have to be in front of a computer, right? Myself, I've been doing research and trading for past 20 years. I've been coaching for 17 years. And more than 10 years ago, we have a breakthrough. I managed to coach people to able to plot charts and do their independent analysis within a day. And moving forward, after they have graduated, they just spend 15 minutes a day to do their analysis. So if this sounds cool to you, you're looking for alternative ways to generate more money or additional money while you pursue your passions or upskill yourself, drop me a DM. Questions you might have is that, if US dollar is affected, how could we trade? in my belief system, trading will still be around for some time because people are looking at different things to trade. As long as there's a price, you will able to do your analysis to know what is a good price for you to purchase and when is a bad time, right? You can use it that way. At the same time, if you're thinking, hey, Rayn, if you can simplify your workflow, simplify something that people took ages to learn and practice, how about could you help me in my work? Of course I can, right? But first, drop me a DM. We have some discussion and see if your industry is something that we are confident and having the knowledge to help you. We'll be more than happy working with you to streamline it so you can have a better workflow. At the same time, to look into areas that you can improve and save up more time for yourself and your family. Drop me a DM, my only IG at Rayn Lim.